Recently, I was going through all of my old stuff from my childhood, so naturally, I had to make a Y2k inspired doll. Welcome to my dollhouse. This is where I make all of my stuff and all of my ideas come to life. Today is also kind of special because this is my first long-form doll making video. So if you like this kind of video or you want more of it, it would absolutely make my whole day if you like this video. Or if you want to be extra cheeky, maybe subscribe or leave a cute comment. I read all of my comments on almost every platform if I have time. If this is your first time seeing me, I'm Tuva. I run a tiny doll business called DustBunnyDoll. I create ball-jointed dolls to spread nostalgia and magic. I usually create small characters with cute and nostalgic backstories. Also, last thing before we start, if you like how this doll turned out, she is available for adoption on my website today. Now I'm done rambling, so let's get into the doll making. So let's get started. This is what I sketched out so far. If you already follow me on TikTok and Instagram, you already know who this is gonna be. She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment. I'll tell you more about her soon, but I've been dreaming of this cute little video series called From Dust to Doll, where I just bring you along. I tell you about the characters and the doll I'm making, and we explore their universe together. Here you can see me string the doll. I use two different kinds of string, one thinner and one thicker, because the armholes are tiny and the rest of the body needs more support. You're gonna see me use these kind of tongs, which I truly recommend because it makes it so much easier. And soon you're gonna see that she only has one big eye, so she's obviously not from here. If you didn't know, I sculpt all my doll bases myself, and this doll base is called Candy. The Candy sculpt is available on my shop as either blank dolls if you want to create your own alien girl, or as mini-me's where you can decide what hair color, eye color, skin color, all that fun stuff. I also take commissions, and sometimes I even put up my full set dolls like this one on my shop for you to adopt. So let me tell you about Lola Star. When I was sketching her out, I knew I wanted something Y2k inspired and something loud and fun, and as soon as I started, I just couldn't stop myself, and this is the design I came up with. So like I said, Lola is not from Earth. She's an alien who, in a fit of pure teenage rage, just left her home planet out of spite because she was angry with her parents. She ended up crash landing on Earth, not in a super glamorous place, but in a old summer home. The family had moved away years ago, but the teenage daughter's room was still frozen in time. The bed was unmade, there were posters on the walls, just magazines stacked on top of each other in the corner of the room. Lola spent 3 full days in there, sprawled across the bed, just binge reading old magazines from 2005. Lola obviously didn't know what Earth was, so this was her way of learning how to navigate it. As you can see, I made her a low denim mini skirt because I was thinking how cute would it be of her just to try to copy all of the outfits she saw in those magazines and movies. I even gave her a little whale tail, and I made sure that the skirt doesn't rise up by adding this little string. I love to think that she basically just built her entire identity out of this stranger's closet. She also watched like pirated CDs of like Bratz movies and Nickelodeon, Looney Tunes, and that's where she came up with her new name, Lola, from Lola the Bunny. Now she's just out in the world trying to live like a human, mostly out of stubbornness because she doesn't want to admit to herself or her alien parents that maybe running away wasn't the smartest idea. She's also kind of afraid to tell them that she crashed her ship and can't get home. So now she just works at a little coffee shop blasting 2000s music on every shift. And secretly she hates coffee, but she chugs raspberry ice matcha like her life depends on it. Learning how to human from teen magazines from the 2000s made her new biggest dream to become a pop star. Now just a little pause from the story. This bag that I'm making is inspired by my sister's bags. You should check them out. They are absolutely awesome and I bring them everywhere I go. Her socials will be up on the screen right now. Okay, back to Lola. Best part is she is low-key internet famous. She hums and sings a lot at work without even thinking about it, and some teenagers made her a TikTok fan account. People online can't decide if she's a performance artist, if she's AI, or some kind of marketing stunt. With her big dream of becoming a pop star, she had to dress like it. I had to make her super loud, sparkly, glittery, everything you dream of when you think of a pop star from the 2000s. So tinsel in her hair was a must. I tried my hands on making a wig with a new kind of fiber. I didn't really love it, but I feel like it still brings that it factor that Lola needs. And it would be kind of hard to get this effect with a yarn fiber that I usually use. As you can see, I use hot glue for my wigs, which is not something I recommend because it easily becomes bulky and messy. But I am very impatient, and dealing with regular glue drying time is not something I ever want to do. So I honestly just find a way to work around it. Here comes a jump scare of what my studio looks like when I'm making wigs. It is so messy, and that's why I usually don't really film like every second of the process. But here is the wig. I like it. I'm not sure that I love the fiber, but I still feel like I managed. It might also just be a scale issue since I'm so used to using yarn fiber, and I feel like the yarn fiber is thinner and more easy to shape. Also, if you know anything about the 2000s, you know that butterfly hair clips was everything. So I couldn't do a Y2k inspired doll without adding those. I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I used to put all the hair clips I ever owned into my hair every day. And my parents had this inside joke that I would just leave a trail of hair clips everywhere I went. So I couldn't leave Lola without that core experience. Now for her shoes, I went with my standard bunny slippers, but I wanted them to be yellow to really pop with her skin tone, and I wanted them to have a little twist. Basically, the story behind these slippers are that I love Monster High Generation 1, and they had like a sleepover set, which was awesome, and they had these fluffy heel slippers that was just so cunty, and I really wanted something similar, so that's why I sculpted them, and now I love them, and I feel like they fit Lola's vibe so perfectly. I feel like she just found them and slipped them on, and now it's her everyday shoe. Last minute, I decided I wanted to pierce the ears of the bunny slippers because I wanted them to have like a little edge to them. So when I first sketched out Lola, I added these cute star tattoos, which I really loved, but I didn't really have a lore or a reason behind them. But then I realized Lola is an alien and we can just make her skin heal like super fast. So not only did I give her a ton of tattoos, I also gave her a ton of piercings. So then I was like, who is giving this alien girl a ton of piercings and tattoos? So now in my mind, Lola has a friend that is training to become a piercer and a tattoo artist that just use her as a test subject. This choker is actually just a nail art sticker, and talking about nails, here I am just giving her fake nails.
Split personality, sometimes sour, sometimes sweet. An M. Night Shyamalan story called Everything's Peachy. Can we just skip straight to the plot twist, please?
I did sketch out Lola's face, but I kind of used it as a suggestion more than a rule. If I'm gonna be completely honest, when I get to the face up, I usually just go with the flow and see what I like whilst I'm doing it. So here I'm just deepening up the crease and her cheekbones to get some dimension. I knew I wanted a smoky eye, but I didn't want to go too heavy in the beginning. So I started with a deeper purple to blend it in with her skin color when I later added the black. So I really love putting blue tones in the shadows to just bring that depth, and to contrast that, I like putting a bit of yellow tones on the high points of your face, usually where the bone structure is more prominent. But since my candy sculpt doesn't have a nose, which is like the most structured and bony part of your face, I just put it on the forehead and the cheekbones.
Sometimes sour, sometimes sweet. An M. Night Shyamalan story called Everything's.
There was no way I was not gonna put a ton of stars on her face since her name is Lola Star and she's literally from the stars. I got a comment asking, how does no one know that she's an alien? Girl, people know she's an alien. They just don't care. Also, the people that should care, they don't know what the fuck is going on. So you know that girl that used to live in Lola's bedroom? Her dad, he is retired, but he got pulled out of retirement because he used to work for NASA. And NASA is kind of having a mental breakdown. They randomly started picking up signals going to space and from space, and they don't know where it's coming from. You and me though, we know Lola just found a flip phone, a Tamagotchi, and parts of her shipwreck and just kind of somehow figured out a way to call her parents. Lola has not only convinced her parents but also her alien friends that she is living her best life here on Earth, and one of her alien friends is actually trying to convince their parents to go to Earth for a gap year. It's not going that great, but she is trying. As you can see, I added a shooting star motif and a ton of glitter on her face. I feel like it just fits her perfectly. And just like that, all the pieces are done. Let's dress her and see the final result. Thank you so much for watching, and if you would like to adopt Lola, she is up on my website today.